6'3" and my wingspan is 6'3", I'm pretty neutral. All right, so that won't affect how high or how deep my hands are going to be. It's going to be basically somewhere right in between. Okay, so it doesn't affect me a whole lot. Now, let's say I'm 6'3", but my wingspan is 6'7", so I got longer arms. My hands are going to be higher. And so the exact opposite happens if I'm 6'3" and my hands are... Hey, welcome back to Danford Golf. Today we're going to talk about the top of your backswing, but we're going to talk about how high your hands should be and how deep they should be in the golf swing. Because most of the time we see somebody on tour and we try to mimic what they look like, and that might work for them because that's how their body was created, to get the hands that high or that deep. For us, it might be something completely different. So we're going to basically break it down. We're going to take you through a TPI test, which is Titleist Performance Institute, to test just your flexibility, because if you're not flexible enough to do it, then you probably shouldn't try to mimic that. All right, we're going to take you through some biomechanics. We're going to take you through a little bit of swing dynamics, Mike Adams thing, just so you can see if this is your body, this is how you should be swinging. All right, and we'll wrap it up and tie it all together. And by the end of this, you should have the top of your backswing in the depth that was created just for you. So, as always, if you're brand new, please subscribe to our channel. We appreciate that. If you enjoy the content today, give us a thumbs up. And if you have any comments or questions, leave them below, and make sure you hit that bell button so you see our next video. The first thing that we need to cover is your flexibility. And I'm not going to talk about internal, external rotation of the shoulder. If that's something that you're concerned with, or if you have shoulder pain, there's lots of other videos that can lead you to kind of around that issue. But we're just going to talk about basically the flexibility in the shoulders. I'm going to put a link down at the bottom in the comments to the actual TPI video and test. I don't have a wall out here, so I can't really do it to help you that way. But basically what you're going to do is you're going to sit against the wall. All right, your back is going to be flat against the wall, and then you're going to raise your arms up, and without your back coming up, you're going to see if you put two thumbs up, if they will reach up and touch the wall behind you without your back arching. Now, if you can do that, so it's basically like if you're in basketball and you sit against the wall, okay? That's basically what the test is. It's very simple. If you go up, and let's say your arms only get to here, you're not going to have very high hands in the backswing, all right? Because that shows you exactly how high your hands could possibly be, because you're limited flexibility. All right, if it's a little bit higher, your hands might be able to be a little bit higher. If you go back and touch the wall, it's simple, maybe your hands should be even higher based off your flexibility. Now, based off your body type, that might be something completely different. So the next test, you're going to measure yourself. All right, I'm 6'3", all right, and my wingspan is also 6'3". All right, so you'll just take a tape measure, go across, and fingertip to fingertip. All right, so what that means, I'm 6'3" and my wingspan is 6'3", I'm pretty neutral. All right, so that won't affect how high or how deep my hands are going to be. It's going to be basically somewhere right in between. Okay, so it doesn't affect me a whole lot. Now, let's say I'm 6'3", but my wingspan is 6'7", so I got longer arms. My hands are going to be higher. And so the exact opposite happens if I'm 6'3" and my hands are 6 foot, all right? That means my hands are going to be lower. That's a very simple way for you to start to understand, oh, my wingspan is way longer than how tall I am. All right, so my hands automatically are going to be higher in my golf swing. All right, so now since you've measured your wingspan, the next thing that you're going to basically do is just look at yourself in the mirror and look at your shoulders. All right, somebody who has wider shoulders, two things are going to happen. If you have wide shoulders, your swing automatically is going to be a little bit flatter or lower, whatever you want to call it. And the second part is your hand depth is going to be less. All right, so when you get to the top, your hand depth might be there because you have to move around your wide shoulders more, so it's not going to be as deep. If you're more narrow chested, okay, and you've got the long arms, then yeah, you're going to be deeper and your hands are going to be higher just based on how your body is designed. So if you're not sure if you have wide shoulders or not, maybe you should ask somebody who is a neutral opinion, all right? And that will help you decide, should my hands be higher or lower based on how wide my shoulders are. All right, the final piece of the puzzle, all right, this is more bioswing dynamic stuff, is you're gonna just hold your fist out like this, and you would just measure from your fist to your elbow. Let's go ahead and say that's 14 inches. I'm not quite sure what mine is. And then you're gonna measure from your shoulder joint down to your elbow again. And let's just go ahead and say that's 13. All right, they could match and be 14. If they're both 14 or 15 or whatever, that's great. That shouldn't affect you a whole lot. You're more of a neutral plane. You're not gonna be high, you're not gonna be low. Now, if you are, let's say from shoulder to elbow, you're at 12, and from elbow to your wrist, you're 15, automatically, just imagine it, it's going to be higher. So your top of your backswing is going to be higher, just based on the length of your arms. Now your arms are created, all right? Now, if you have a long bicep for some reason and a short forearm, you're going to be flatter, okay? So it's very simple. You just need a measuring tape. This is going to help a lot of stuff. So if we just put this all together, I'll go ahead and do me. So shoulder flexibility, I'm slightly limited. I can almost get there. So automatically I know at least I have the flexibility to get my hands high. If we went through my height versus my wingspan, I'm very neutral. So my hands aren't going to be low or high based off of that. When I did measure everything, my forearm is just slightly longer than my bicep. So that gives me just a little bit of height when it comes to putting it all together. And then my shoulders, you can be the judge. I feel like they're kind of wide, so that puts me more at a neutral thing. So if we're talking neutral, we're talking the arm runs right across the chest, just about the shoulder plane. If we're talking high, it's going to be more up here. Old like Ernie Els. Today it was more of a Justin Thomas, has high hands, stuff like that, right? And then if you are opposite, let's say you've got short here, all right, you've got wide shoulders, your wingspan is a little bit short, all right, and so you're going to be more of the lower plane, more of the Matt Kuchar, kind of, you could almost call it a one swing plane, but you don't have to. One swing planes happen in different fashions, right? So get yourself a measuring tape, go out there and kind of check some of these things, because if you've been thinking, oh, I got to get my hands high, but you're actually built to have your hands low, automatically it's going to make it harder, all right? And if you just got to get it on the right plane. So hand depth is important too, so make sure, because if you're built not to have deep hands, all right, and you've been trying to overturn and get it really back there, it's going to kind of mess you up. We do want hand depth in the golf swing, because that helps us shallow it out on the way down, all right? But you'll see a lot of players when they get to the top, because they know exactly how they're built, their hands don't get deep, and then on the way down they get them deeper, okay? So it doesn't have to be that way. So I hope these tests, measurements help you. They kind of enlightened me a little bit, because I've never really thought about this way before. I was lucky I just kind of done this. But go ahead, check it out, follow it, and I guarantee you, if you measure yourself correctly and you stick to it, you will hit the ball better, because this is how your body was originally designed for you to swing.